People ask me all the time how to build their first $1 million. They want a secret formula, a hidden strategy, some sophisticated investment technique that only the wealthy know about. And every time I hear this question, I want to laugh, because the answer is so simple, it insults their intelligence. That is the problem right there. People think building wealth requires genius. It doesn't. It requires the opposite of stupidity, and most people can't even manage that. Let me tell you something that will save you decades of confusion and frustration. Your first million has almost nothing to do with being smart. Some of the dumbest financial decisions I've ever witnessed came from people with advanced degrees, high IQs, and impressive credentials. Meanwhile, I've watched ordinary people with average intelligence quietly accumulate seven-figure portfolios. They did it by doing a handful of boring things correctly and consistently. The difference wasn't brain power. The difference was temperament, discipline, and the ability to avoid being an idiot for extended periods of time. Most people lose this game not because they don't know what to do. They lose because they can't stop themselves from doing what they know they shouldn't. Here is the formula for your first million, and I am going to give it to you in language so plain that you'll be disappointed by how unglamorous it sounds. Spend significantly less than you earn. Invest the difference in low-cost index funds. Do this automatically every single month. Never stop. Avoid catastrophic mistakes. That is it. That is the entire playbook. No complexity. No secrets. No insider knowledge required. Just 5 simple behaviors repeated for 15, 20, 25 years. The formula works for almost everyone who actually follows it, but almost nobody follows it, because it is boring, it requires patience, and it makes you look poor before it makes you rich. People hate all 3 of those things. They want excitement, immediate gratification, and the appearance of success right now, so they chase complicated strategies, hot stock tips, cryptocurrency speculation, and whatever financial nonsense is trending on social media this week. Then they wonder why they're broke at 40. I'll tell you why. Because they refuse to do the simple, boring things that actually work. Let me start by destroying a fantasy that ruins most people before they begin. The fantasy is this: $1 million will make you rich, will let you quit your job, will fund a life of luxury and leisure. Wrong, dead wrong. If that is what you think $1 million does, you are going to be very disappointed when you get there. Here is what $1 million actually means in practical mathematical terms. For decades, financial planners have used something called the 4% rule as a rough guide for retirement withdrawals. The idea is simple. If you withdraw about 4% of your portfolio annually, and your money is invested sensibly, there is a high probability it will last 30 years or more. It is not perfect, nothing is, but it is a reasonable framework that most people desperately need, so let's apply it. If you have $1 million invested, 4% of that is $40,000, that is $3,333. per month. That is the real, actual, practical meaning of your first million, not yachts, not mansions, not early retirement in the Bahamas. Just $40,000 annually of relatively reliable passive income. Now, before you get disappointed, let me explain why this number is actually extraordinarily powerful. $40,000 per year where you don't answer to anyone, where you are not dependent on a boss, where you can't be fired. That is freedom. Real freedom, not the Hollywood version, the actual version. It means you don't panic when the economy shifts. It means you can take career risks without fear of homelessness. It means you negotiate from strength, not desperation. It means you can say no to things that make you miserable. That is worth far more than any luxury item you could buy. Most people completely miss this point. They're so focused on consumption that they fail to recognize the value of independence. They'd rather have a $70,000 car they can barely afford than $40,000 of annual passive income that nobody can take away. That is not financial planning, that is psychological confusion. But here is the part that changes everything. The amount of freedom that $40,000 buys depends entirely on how much you spend. If your lifestyle requires $150,000 annually to maintain, then $1 million is worthless to you. You'll burn through it in a handful of years. But if you've learned to live comfortably on $35,000 or $40,000 per year, then $1 million is complete financial independence. You are done. You've won the game. This is why your spending habits matter more than your income. Your lifestyle determines how much wealth you need, and most people inflate their lifestyle so aggressively that they can never accumulate enough to escape. They're running on a treadmill that speeds up every time they get a raise. The relationship between spending and freedom is direct and unforgiving. If you live on $30,000 per year, $1 million represents 33 years of expenses. If you live on $60,000 per year, it is 16 years. If you live on $100,000 per year, it is 10 years. Say $1 million, completely different outcomes based purely on your consumption. This is why I say your first million is built or destroyed by your lifestyle choices, not your investment returns. People hate hearing this because it puts the responsibility squarely on them. It is easier to blame the economy, inflation, low wages, or the system than to admit you are sabotaging yourself one unnecessary purchase at a time. Now that you understand what 1 million actually does for you, let's talk about how to build it. And I am going to be brutally honest about the numbers, because most people are living in a fantasy world about how wealth accumulation actually works. You cannot negotiate with mathematics. You can lie to yourself about it, but the math doesn't care about your feelings or your excuses. Let's start with the worst-case scenario, because that is where most people find themselves. You are starting from zero, no savings, no investments, nothing. You want to reach $1 million in 10 years. How much do you need to invest monthly? Assuming a 10% annual return, which is roughly the long-term stock market average, you'd need to invest about $5,000 to $6,000 every single month. That is $60,000 to $72,000 per year. For most people, that is impossible. But here is the thing. If you are making $150,000 or more annually and living like you make $80,000, the problem is almost nobody making $150,000 lives like they make $80,000. They live like they make $200,000, which is why they stay broke despite high incomes. Let's try a more realistic scenario. You are starting with $100,000 already saved. Maybe you are 30 years old and you've been disciplined for a few years. This changes everything. That $100,000 compounding at 10% for 10 years becomes about $259,000 on its own. Without you adding another penny, that means you only need to contribute enough to build the remaining $741,000. To do that, you need to invest roughly $4,000 monthly, or $48,000 annually, still aggressive, still painful, but far more realistic than starting from zero. This is why starting early matters so much. Not because the dollar amounts are huge when you are young, but because time is the most powerful force in compounding. Another scenario, you are starting with $250,000 saved. Maybe you are 35 or 40, and you've been smart with money for a while. Now the math starts working heavily in your favor. That $250,000 becomes roughly $648,000 in 10 years, at 10% returns. You only need to build another $352,000 through contributions. That requires investing about $2,500 to $3,000 monthly, or $30,000 to $36,000 annually. At this level, reaching $1 million becomes almost inevitable, if you just don't screw it up. Do you see the pattern? Your starting point determines your pain level. Start early with something, anything, and compounding does most of the heavy lifting. Start late or start with nothing, and you have to do all the heavy lifting yourself through massive contributions. Most people start late, save little, and then complain that the system is rigged against them. The system isn't rigged. You are just refusing to play by the rules that have always existed. Mathematics is completely neutral. It doesn't care about fairness, feelings, or excuses. Now, let me address the 3 ways people sabotage themselves even when they understand the math. First, they underestimate how much they need to save. They think $200 or $300 per month will somehow grow into a fortune over 10 years. It won't. A few hundred monthly might build wealth over 30 or 40 years, but not quickly. If you want your first million in 10 to 15 years, you need to save aggressively, probably 30% to 50% or more. That is uncomfortable. That requires sacrifice. And most people would rather stay comfortable and poor than uncomfortable and wealthy. Second, they expect unrealistic returns. They hear about someone making 20% or 30% on some investment, and they think that is normal or achievable. It is not. The average investor barely makes 5% annually because they panic, trade too much, and chase performance. If you want 8% to 10% returns, buy a boring index fund and leave it alone. If you want 15% or 20%, good luck. You are going to need it because you are probably going to lose money trying to beat the market. Third, they refuse to increase their savings rate even as their income. This is the most common and most destructive mistake. Someone making $50,000 saves 10%. They get promoted to $80,000 and still save 10%. Then they make $120,000 and still save 10%. Their absolute savings increased, yes, but they wasted the opportunity to dramatically accelerate their timeline. They could have saved 30%, 40%, 50% of their income. Instead, they inflated their lifestyle and stayed stuck. Your savings rate is the single most important variable in building wealth. It is not your investment returns. It is not your salary. It is not luck. It is the percentage of your income that you refuse to spend. If you save 50% to 60% of your income, you can reach financial independence in 10 to 15 years, even with mediocre returns. If you save 5% to 10%, you'll work until you die. The math is crystal clear, but most people would rather believe a comforting lie than an uncomfortable truth. They want to believe that a little more income will solve everything. Plenty of people making $300,000 or $500,000 annually are broke because they're addicted to spending. High income with no discipline is just expensive poverty. Now, let's talk about where most people completely lose their minds and destroy any chance they have of building wealth. I am talking about lifestyle inflation, the silent killer of financial security. This is the disease that infects almost everyone who experiences income growth, and most people don't even realize they have it until it is too late. Here is how lifestyle inflation works. You start your career making $50,000. Life is tight. You live in a modest apartment, drive an old car, cook most of your meals, and watch your spending carefully. You are uncomfortable, but you are managing. Then you get a raise. Now you are making $65,000. What do? Do you keep living on $50,000 and bank the extra $15,000? Of course not. You are human. You upgrade. You move to a nicer apartment for an extra $300 monthly. You lease a newer car. You start eating out more. You buy better clothes. You take a vacation you've been putting off. None of these decisions seem unreasonable in isolation. You earn more, so you are entitled to enjoy it a little, right? Then you get another raise to $85,000, another upgrade, better apartment, nicer car, more restaurants, more toys, then $110,000. Another round of upgrades, then $140,000, more upgrades. At every stage of income growth, your spending rises to match or exceed your earnings. You are always living at the edge of your means, sometimes beyond. And here is the devastating part. Your life gets more expensive, but no more secure. when you were making $50,000, but you had room to cut back if needed. When you are making $140,000 with a lifestyle calibrated for $150,000, you have zero room to maneuver. You are locked into high fixed costs. If anything goes wrong, a job loss, a pay cut, an unexpected expense, you are in immediate crisis. This is what happened to millions of high earners who look wealthy but are actually fragile. They've built expensive lives on top of variable income, and the moment the income falters, everything collapses. The solution is simple but psychologically difficult. Your lifestyle should lag your income by several years. When you get a raise, don't upgrade immediately. Wait. Let the income prove itself. Let the money accumulate. Build reserves first. Only after the new income level is clearly sustainable should you consider modest upgrades. And even then, upgrade well below what you can afford, not up to the edge. This creates automatic wealth accumulation. If you earn $100,000 but live like you earn $70,000, you are saving $30,000 annually without even thinking about it. Do that for 15 years and you have $450,000 before investment returns. Add in market growth, and you are looking at $700,000 to $800,000 or more. That is most of your first million, built not through investment genius, but through the simple discipline of not inflating your lifestyle every time your income increases. But most people can't do this. They can't tolerate looking less successful than their peers. They can't handle driving an older car when their coworker just leased a new one. They can't stand living in a modest home when their friends are buying bigger houses. The social pressure to consume is enormous, and most people lack the strength to resist it. They'd rather look rich and be poor than look modest and be wealthy. This is a choice, and it is the most important financial choice you'll ever make. Do you want the appearance of success or the substance of it? You cannot have both, at least not early on. Your first million requires choosing substance over appearance, and most people aren't willing to make that choice. Let me tell you about the single most important concept that separates wealthy people from everyone else. And it is so simple that people dismiss it as obvious. But obvious doesn't mean people actually do it. The concept is this: live below your means, significantly below. This is non-negotiable if you want wealth. Income is not wealth. Spending is the enemy of wealth. Savings rate creates wealth. The person making $75,000 and saving $30,000 is wealthier than the person making $250,000 and saving nothing. You don't get rich by earning more. You get rich by keeping more. People absolutely hate hearing this because it forces them to confront their own behavior. It is so much easier to blame external factors, the economy, inflation, low wages, their boss, than to admit they're bleeding themselves dry one purchase at a time. Let me be even more blunt. If you can't control your spending, you will never be financially free. Not at $60,000 a year. Not at $160,000, not at $600,000. I've personally known lottery winners who went bankrupt. I've known doctors making $700,000 annually who lived paycheck to paycheck. I've known middle-class teachers who quietly amass portfolios worth over $2 million. It is not about income, it is about behaviors. Specifically, the behavior of spending less than you earn and investing the difference consistently. The teachers had discipline, the doctors had excuses. Now here is something most people never consider about living below your means. When you lower your spending, you don't just save more money. You also reduce how much wealth you need to achieve financial independence. This creates a double benefit that is extraordinarily powerful. Let me illustrate with two people. Person A spends $80,000 annually and saves $15,000. Person B spends $45,000 annually and saves $50,000. Both make $95,000. Person A feels rich. Person A looks richer. Person A enjoys more immediate pleasures. But person B is building wealth at a rate person I can't even comprehend. Why, first, person B is saving 3.3 times more annually, over 20 years. That is an additional $700,000 in contributions alone, not counting investment growth. Second, person B needs far less wealth to be free, using the 4% rule. Person A needs about $2 million to generate $80,000 annually. Person B needs only $1.125 million to generate $45,000 annually. Same starting income, completely different financial outcomes, based entirely on spending behavior. This cutting your spending doesn't just accelerate your savings, it also lowers your finish line. You are running faster toward a closer target. Meanwhile, the high spenders are walking slowly toward a distant target they'll likely never reach. The mathematics are ruthless and completely fair. If you live on $35,000 annually, you need roughly $875,000 for financial independence. If you live on $70,000, you need $1.75 million. If you live on $140,000, you need $3.5 million. Every dollar of annual spending requires $25 of invested capital to support it indefinitely. Most people inflate their spending without ever calculating what that inflation cost them in required capital. They treat a $10,000 annual spending increase as insignificant. It is not. It is $250,000 of additional capital required for financial freedom. That is the real cost of lifestyle inflation. And almost nobody does this math. Here is a simple rule I've followed for decades. If you want to build wealth, your lifestyle should look cheap relative to your income. Not equal, not close cheap. This is how you build a 50% or 60% savings rate, which is the real weapon for reaching financial independence quickly. People who save half their income often become financially independent in 10 to 15 years. People who save 10% of their income reach financial independence never, or more accurately, when they're 70 and broken down from decades of work they hated. This isn't complicated mathematics. It is simple arithmetic. But simple arithmetic requires courage. You must be willing to say no to things you want. You must be willing to look different from your friends and neighbors. You must be willing to appear cheap to people who are secretly drowning in debt, while making payments on luxury items they can't afford. Let me share something even more valuable than the financial benefits. Living below your means builds character. It teaches discipline, delayed gratification, and the ability to distinguish between what you truly value and what you've been conditioned to want by advertising and social pressure. Most people buy things to impress other people they don't even like. When you examine that behavior honestly, it is completely insane. When you live below your means, you stop playing status games. You stop competing in races with no finish line and no prize. You stop comparing yourself to people who are faking wealth while you are building real wealth. Instead, you compete with yourself. Can I save more this year than last year? Can I cut waste from my budget? Can I grow the gap between earning and spending? That gap is everything. That gap is freedom. That gap is the seed from which your entire financial future grows. Now, let's talk about the engine that turns your savings into wealth. Because this is where people make it way more complicated than it needs to be. The investment strategy for building your first million is so simple that it sounds like I am joking. I am not. Here it is. Buy a low-cost index fund that tracks the S&P 500 or the total stock market. Invest in it automatically every single month. Never sell. Never stop. That is the entire strategy. No market timing, no cryptocurrency gambling, no day trading, no complexity whatsoever. Just automated monthly purchases of index funds for 15, 20, 25 years until you hit your target. Why does this work? Because when you buy a total market index fund, You own a piece of hundreds or thousands of profitable companies simultaneously. You own Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Costco, Johnson & Johnson, and hundreds more. If one company fails, it gets removed and replaced. If one company dominates, its weight in the index increases automatically. You are not predicting anything. You are not betting on specific companies. You are simply owning capitalism itself. And capitalism has been extraordinarily profitable for patient investors for over a century. Here is something most people don't know but should. Over 90% of actively managed funds, run by professional investors with teams of analysts, unlimited research budgets, and sophisticated tools, underperform a simple S&P 500 index fund over. Think about that, the professionals, the experts, the people who do this for a living. They lose to a strategy so simple a child could implement it. Why? Because investing isn't about intelligence. It is about behavior. The professionals overtrade, panic during downturns, chase performance, and let their egos convince them they can outsmart the market. They can't. And if the professionals can't beat the index, what makes you think you can? The correct answer is you can't, and you shouldn't try. Treeing is expensive. The solution is something called dollar cost averaging, which is just a fancy term for investing the same amount of money on the same schedule, regardless of what the market is doing. Market up, you buy. Market down, you buy. Market crashing, you keep buying while everyone else is panicking. This removes all timing decisions. It removes emotion. It removes the temptation to wait for a dip or sell during a crash. It turns investing into a mechanical process that happens automatically. And mechanical processes don't make emotional mistakes. Over time, dollar cost averaging gives you an average purchase price that is almost always better than what emotional investors achieve through trying to time. The market, it is simple, boring, and devastatingly effective. The next critical component is automation. If you depend on willpower and manual decisions every month, you will fail. Humans are emotional, irrational creatures who make terrible financial decisions when left to our own devices. We get scared, we get excited, we get distracted, we get lazy. Do not make your financial success depend on your mood or your discipline. In any given month, automate everything. Set up automatic transfers from your checking account to your investment account on the same day every month. Preferably right after you get paid, set up automatic purchases of index funds within that investment account. Remove yourself from the decision-making process entirely. This turns good behavior into default behavior, and default behavior compounds over decades into the closest thing to cheating in personal finance is setting up automated index fund investing and then ignoring it for 20 years. It feels too simple, which is why people don't trust it. They think something that easy can't possibly work. But it does work. It has always worked. It will continue to work because the strategy relies on two of the most reliable forces in existence: human progress and patience. Let me tell you a secret that Wall Street desperately doesn't want you to know. Your portfolio doesn't need more intelligence. It needs less interference. The more you trade, the more mistakes you make. The more you adjust your strategy, the worse you perform. The more confident you feel about your market predictions, the more money you are about to lose. Warren and I figured this out decades ago. Our favorite holding period is forever, not because we're sentimental, but because it works. The less you do, the better your results. Every trade costs you money in fees and tax. Every emotional decision costs you in mistiming. The wealthy aren't smarter investors. They're more patient and less active. They set up the engine, then they leave it alone, while everyone else is frantically pulling levers and pushing buttons, trying to optimize something that works best when left undisturbed. So here is your investment checklist for building your first million. Open a low-cost brokerage account. Choose a total market index fund or S&P 500 index fund with an expense ratio below 0.1%, Set up automatic monthly investments. Increase your contribution amount whenever you get a raise. Never sell except in a true emergency. Ignore market news, predictions, and expert opinions. Let it compound for 20 to 30 years. That is it. 7 steps. No genius required. Just patience, discipline, and the ability to avoid being stupid. Now, let's talk about something most people completely ignore until it is too late, and that ignorance costs them hundreds of thousands of dollars over their lifetimes. I am talking about taxes and the incredible advantages the government gives you if you are smart enough to use them. Most people treat taxes like the weather. They complain about it, but they never do anything intelligent about it. Using the tax code to your advantage requires reading, planning, and that is apparently too much work for most people, so they voluntarily pay far more than necessary, and wonder why building wealth feels so hard. Let me be very clear. If you ignore the tax advantages available to you, you are choosing to make your journey to 1 million slower, harder, and dumber than it needs to be. I am going to explain the tools that matter most, and I am going to be blunt about how stupid you are if you don't use them. A 401k or traditional IRA lets you invest money before it gets taxed. That means more of your dollar goes to work immediately. Imagine 2 people investing $5,000 monthly for 10 years at 10% returns. Zone uses a regular taxable account. One uses a tax-deferred 401k. After accounting for yearly taxes on gains in the taxable account, that investor ends with roughly $900,000. The 401k investor ends with over $1 million. Same contributions, same returns, same time period. Just different tax treatment. That extra $100,000 plus came from not being ignorant about taxes. Even better, many employers match your 401k contributions. They literally give you free money for saving your own money. If your employer matches 50% of your contributions up to 6% of salary, that is an instant 50% return on that portion of your money. There is no investment anywhere that guarantees you 50% immediately. Yet millions of people leave this money on the table because they want to spend it on something stupid instead. If you have employer matching and you are not contributing at least enough to get the full match, you are lighting free money on fire. I shouldn't have to explain this to adults. A Roth IRA is the opposite structure. You pay taxes on the money now, then it grows tax-free forever. Why does this matter if you are young with a relatively low income and low tax rate? Paying taxes now is cheap. Then your money compounds for 30 or 40 years without ever paying another penny in taxes. I've personally seen people turn Roth IRAs into multi-million-dollar accounts over their lifetimes and never pay a dime in taxes on that growth. That is not luck. That is understanding the tax code and using it intelligently. The HSA Health Savings Account is one of the most powerful wealth-building tools in existence, and almost nobody uses it correctly. It has triple tax advantages. Your contributions are tax-deductible. The money grows tax-free, and withdrawals for medical expenses are tax-free, triple advantage. But most people treat HSAs like checking accounts. They spend everything immediately instead of investing it and letting it grow. That is like inheriting a goose that lays golden eggs and deciding to eat the goose. Your future medical expenses are guaranteed, save receipts. Invest the HSA, let it compound for decades. Then reimburse yourself in retirement. This alone can shave years off your path to financial independence. The point of all these accounts is simple. Compounding is powerful, but compounding without taxes is far more powerful. If you can shelter your investments from taxes for 20, 30, 40 years, the difference is massive. A 2% annual tax drag over 30 years can cost you 30%. Why would you voluntarily give up that much money? You wouldn't unless you are too lazy to spend a few hours learning how these accounts work. Here is your action plan. Max out your 401k up to at least the employer match. If you can max it completely, do that. Max out your Roth IRA every year, currently $7,000 annually. If you qualify for an HSA, max that out too, currently about $4,000 for individuals. Once you've done all three, then invest in regular taxable accounts. This sequence matters. You are using the most tax-efficient vehicles first, then moving to less efficient ones only after you've exhausted the good options. This is basic sequencing that will save you hundreds of thousands of dollars over your lifetime. Most people do it backwards or not at all, because nobody taught them, and they're too lazy to learn on their own. Now we need to address the inevitable part of building wealth that separates winners from losers. I am talking about market crashes, and how you respond to them will determine whether you build lasting wealth or stay broke forever. Every decade or so, sometimes more often, the market crashes. It drops 20%, 30%, sometimes 50% or more. It has happened repeatedly throughout history. It will happen repeatedly in your lifetime. It is not a bug in the system, it is a feature. If you want long-term stock market returns of 8%, 10%, 12%, you must accept short-term volatility of -20%, -30%, -50%. That is the deal. That is the price you pay for the returns. Most people claim they accept this deal, but their behavior during crashes proves they're lying. When the market crashes, most people panic. They see their portfolio drop 30% and they can't handle it psychologically. They sell at the bottom, locking in permanent losses. Then they wait on the sidelines until things feel safe again, which means they miss the recovery. Then they buy back in near the top, just in time for the next crash. This is how the average investor dramatically underperforms the market, despite the market itself producing excellent long-term returns. The market does fine. The investors destroy themselves through emotional decisions. Here is what you need to understand. If you are building your first million, you are in the accumulation phase. You are buying, not selling. A market crash means you are buying the same high-quality assets at massive discounts. This is good for you. This is extraordinarily good for you. Imagine walking into a store where everything you need is suddenly 40% off. Would you panic? Would you run away screaming? Would you cry? You'd buy more. You'd load up. You'd be thrilled. But in the stock market, when everything goes on sale, people do the opposite. They panic and sell. That is the difference between consumers and investors. Rational investors understand that market crashes are buying opportunities, not disasters. If you are dollar cost averaging every month, and you should be, then a market crash is your best friend. You are buying more shares for the same dollar amount. You are accumulating ownership of businesses at depressed prices. When the market recovers, and it always recovers eventually, you are going to be far wealthier than if the crash had never happened. I'll give you a personal example. During the 2008 financial crisis, the market dropped over 50%. It was terrifying. Everyone was predicting the end of capitalism, but I kept buying. Actually, I increased my buying because everything was so cheap. Those investments made during the crash produced some of the best returns of my entire life. Because I was buying quality businesses at fractions of their intrinsic value. The people who sold and ran away, they locked in massive losses and missed one of the greatest bull markets in history. The crash didn't hurt them. Their emotional reaction hurt them. Here is your strategy for market crashes, and it is extremely simple. When the market crashes, do nothing different. Don't sell. Don't stop your automatic investments. Don't check your account balance obsessively. Don't read financial news. Don't listen to predictions. Just keep doing exactly what you were doing before the crash. Buy your index funds automatically every month like you always do. Then wait, the market will recover. It always has. It probably always will. And when it does, you'll be wealthier than you were before, because you bought assets when they were cheap. Patience and emotional control during crashes separate wealthy people from everyone else. It is not intelligence. It is not education. It is temperament. Can you watch your portfolio drop 30% without panicking? If yes, you'll probably get wealthy. If no, you probably won't. That is the test now. We're going to address the part nobody wants to talk about, but everyone needs to hear. The psychological and identity shifts required to not just build wealth, but keep it. Because building your first million and keeping your first million require different mindsets. And most people who reach 7 figures don't understand this until they've squandered it. The mechanics of building wealth are simple. Spend less than you earn. Invest the difference. Buy index funds. Automate everything. Don't panic during crashes. Use tax advantages. Those are techniques. Techniques are easy to understand, but techniques are worthless if you don't have the psychology to implement them consistently for decades. Your first million is not a financial achievement. It is a psychological transformation. You have to become a different person, someone who thinks differently about money, time, status, consumption, risk, and freedom than the average person. If you reach your first million, but you are still thinking like you did when you had nothing, you are going to lose it. Let me describe the identity traits of people who build and keep wealth. Traits you'll need to develop if you want lasting financial security. First, intellectual independence. Wealthy people think for themselves. They don't need consensus, validation, or permission to make financial decisions. They don't care what is fashionable or trendy. They operate on principles, not popularity. If you can't make decisions without the crowd cheering you on, you won't build wealth. Because the crowd is usually wrong. The crowd chases the latest fad. The crowd panics during crashes. The crowd inflates their lifestyle to impress strangers. If you think like the crowd, you get the crowd's results, which means broke second, thinking in terms of opportunity costs. Every dollar you spend has a cost beyond the price tag. A $500 purchase isn't just $500. It is $500 that won't compound into $2,000 or $3,000 over the next 20 years. Wealthy people see this automatically. They understand that spending today is killing future. They still spend when it is worth it, but they never spend unconsciously. Poor people see money as something to spend. Wealthy people see money as something to deploy strategically. Third, being boring. Wealthy people have boring finances. Automatic investments, low costs, minimal trading, no drama, no excitement. They've accepted that building wealth is not an adrenaline sport. If you need excitement, go skydiving. If you want wealth, embrace boring consistency. Fourth, intellectual humility. The market will humble you. Life will humble you. Overconfidence is extraordinarily expensive in investing. The wealthy don't pretend to know the future. They make decisions based on probabilities and long-term averages, not predictions and certainty. Fifth, extreme patience. Wealth is built over decades, not months or years. If you can't think in 20-year or 30-year time horizons, you can't think in wealth. Most people's time horizon is days or weeks. A few think in months. Almost nobody thinks in decades. That is why almost nobody becomes wealthy. Sixth, delayed gratification. You trade present comfort for future freedom. You choose compounding over consumption. This is the foundation of every fortune. People who need pleasure today rarely have wealth tomorrow. Finally, understanding that your real goal isn't money, it is autonomy. $1 million won't impress anyone, but it will buy you freedom from having to impress anyone. That is the entire point. Stop chasing riches, start chasing independence. Once you have real independence, the amount in your account becomes almost irrelevant beyond sustaining that independence. You don't build your first million by accident. You build it by becoming the kind of person who does boring things consistently for a very long time. The person who reaches $1 million is not the same person who started at zero. They evolved, they grew, they developed the traits I just described. And those traits, far more than the money itself, are what make them truly wealthy. Your first million is not the finish line. It is the starting line of a different kind of life. One where you have options, where you negotiate from strength, where fear doesn't drive your decisions. That is worth more than any number in your account. Build the wealth, but build the character first, because without it, the wealth won't last and won't matter.